Guys, it's a great day for a garage video, and what we're going to do today is look at the Rupes Mini Bigfoot buffer. Now, Rupes is pretty much known as the Ferrari of random orbital buffers. Obviously, this one has an adjustable speed meter there on the bottom, if we can focus. It's thumb controlled here. You can do it with one thumb. It's a little harder to put on than it is off. It's got a nice collar here, so if you put it down somewhere, it won't roll. It also comes with some instructions. It comes with one yellow foam pad, and it comes with obviously the Allen wrench to change the backing plate. I also purchased a white polishing hex logic pad and a black finishing pad from hex logic. Also, these are both 4-inch, as you can see, which they'll go directly obviously onto here. Now, the nice thing about this is each of these hex logic packages come with a guide on the back, and Rupes also sends you kind of a visual guide of what pad color you should be using with what buffing system. So, kind of hard to do a review without turning it on. When I was looking to pick up a buffer, there's not a lot of reviews on this. There's a couple of unboxings, but again, unboxing something isn't really going to do much for anybody. So I do have a fine scratch on the truck. Obviously it's dirty, but believe it or not, we're due for a thunderstorm today. So I'm going to show you how we can accomplish that without having to do a full wash. Now, why did I get the Rupes? I also have a Torx buffer, which uses the 5.5-inch pads, but I was actually fixing a paint chip kind of in this area, and it's really hard to polish, you know, something this size, you know, where say you're going to polish down here with a 5.5-inch pad. So that's why these are a little nicer to do. So anyway, let's get right into it. Before we get started, just look at the clearance between that antenna and the garage. That's 2.5 inches of level on 34.5-inch tires. I could not go another inch. You can barely see daylight through there. Alright guys, so first things first, as always, all the products that I use in this video will be linked in the description. This is Chemical Guys VO7. It's a quasi-spray detailer slash sealant. So, it's a brand new microfiber towel. Again, we just want to fix one spot. So, let me turn it on and help. I'm not going to do the whole truck. A couple sprays, take the towel in one direction. Okay, again, we're just going to get a little bit off, turn the towel over. We're going to do it in one direction. Okay, that's all we need to do for the quick detailer, just to reveal the imperfection. And what we're going to be looking at is actually that fine hairline scratch right there. Alright, so as I said, this is the Rupes Mini. It does have a 12mm throw. That means that even though it has a 4-inch plate, when you start it up, you can see there that it vibrates around and oscillates and does different movements. So what we're going to do to remove that scratch is I've got all kinds of different steps, polishing, compound, but I also just received this VSS scratch and swirl remover. It's a 1-step, also from Chemical Guys. So we're going to give that a try. I've never used it before, but I've got the 4-inch pad that came with the Rupes on here. So what I do is, as you saw, just put a quick spritz of quick detail on there. There's multiple ways you guys can prime a pad. But if you watch any of the stuff from Buff Daddy or Ammo NYC or any of those guys, kind of the thing to do is squeeze a little bit of product onto your pad and just fill all those pores with it. This is a brand new pad, so It might take a little more. Again, I've not used this VSS stuff from Chemical Guys before, but we're going to see kind of how it goes. So, we got the pad primed. Now I'm going to put a couple of dots on here. Gonna give ourselves a couple marks there. Let me bring you guys in a little closer. Now, remember, we're starting on 1 or 2. We're starting 2. The nice thing about this is it starts slow and then gets itself up to speed, so you don't start immediately with a jarring rotation that sprays your stuff all over the place. And the other thing to remember is I'm only going to keep it in this section that we've cleaned, and we're going to go in a north-south, north-south, and then an east-west, east-west. So the scratch kind of goes from here all the way down. Alright, let me bring you guys in real quick. So as you can see, the scratch did go from here all the way down. Now we do have a little bit left over right here, but a lot of the rest of it is gone. So generally a yellow pad is for pretty heavy cutting. The one that I'm using right now, that's the one it came with. So what I want to do is do another couple rounds with the cutting pad just to try to get that last little bit of the scratch out, and then we'll probably finish off with the black finishing pad that you guys saw over there from Hex Logic. Now the VSS is doing okay. It took most of the scratch out, but like you saw on the bottom there, after 2 passes it's still there. So I'm going to do probably one more round with the VSS, and if that doesn't work, then we'll go to a heavier compound. In terms of actually using the machine, it's very comfortable. It's very easy to use, and it's not giving me any kind of feedback. Now, what I am going to do though is put it up to 3, and we'll see if we can work that last little bit of the scratch out. Alright, I think that did it. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to give it, I'm going to keep turning that off. I'm pretty happy with that, so I'm going to give it a quick spray of the VO7, just again so I can get a much closer look at it, and we'll pull you guys in. But yeah, that bad boy's gone. As you can see, the scratch did go down here, and after a couple passes with the yellow cutting pad on the Rupes Mini, along with some VSS Swirl and Scratch Remover from Chemical Guys, we managed to get it out. Now, you're not done. So your next step, black pad on there, prime it. We're going to use a V38 finishing polish, which is going to add another layer of protection for us. So again, I'm just working that into the pad on my finger so that when you're polishing or when you're working with anything, the polish is staying on the face of the pad and not being absorbed into it, which will happen if you do not prime it. So again, probably going to turn it back down to 3. we're just gonna place it on there. Alright, so we can put our finishing polish away. Now we can put our finishing polish away, and we're going to put a little bit of wax on it just to build up the levels, that's all over me, to build up the levels of protection that we would have just stripped off with the cutting pad. So, again, same process. This is Chemical Guys Butter Wax. And Chemical Guys Butter Wax doesn't have any cure time. You can buff it back off immediately. So again, we'll get our clean microfiber towel. One spritz. We're going to go in one direction. A towel over and in one direction. And that gives you a very nice finish. Like I said, this is a quick detailer and a sealant. The thing with the V07 is they want you to use it on a cool panel. This truck's been inside for a little bit, so it's pretty cool. But we can, for example, it's beading there. So this stuff's pretty expensive. This is $20 for a bottle. And I just wanted to spray that on to show you. If it's beading like that, you've actually used too much. A little goes a very long way. And as you can see there, take my glove off, gives you a very nice shiny seal. I just want to show you the comparison to, obviously, if you were to do this by hand, which you could in theory do this by hand, but it's going to take you a long time and a lot of more work. Now what you can do is use one of these microfiber buffing pads, or excuse me, microfiber applicating pad, but look at the microfibers there. That's just doing a couple little passes, and all the microfibers have basically gone from this, you know, where you want them to be, to this. Pretty quick. That's with priming the pad and everything. So again, okay, this is, you know, $1.29, but you really, once you get to this point, you're not really doing anything. Guys, after all that, your next step is to take your polishing pad cleaner, the pads you used, and you want to clean these because, yeah, okay, they're not that expensive. The pads themselves are about $6 to $8 to $12 depending on what you get. But you want to try to conserve these because there's no reason these aren't good still. So spray them with the pad cleaner. You need them in warm water. Get all the gunk out of them, then leave them to air dry. All right, last but not least, as I'm packing up the Rupes, I just want to go over a couple other things. The build quality. This is plastic. Build quality is very good. Like I said, it's nice to have that little toggle, not a toggle, but it's nice to have that little neck right there where if you lay it down, it won't roll away. I got the protection back on. Build quality is great. It didn't get super warm. As you guys saw, I was holding it here to guide. This did not get real warm. Bigger buffers have like an actual handle up here, so obviously for the size. The cable is very thick. It's got a very sturdy plug. Again, made in Italy, so you guys can see there on the tag, Rupes made in Italy. Very nice quality. Now, the real question is it worth 300 bucks? As we often get to in these kind of product and mod review videos, is it worth 300 bucks? Because obviously, you can go to Harbor Freight, you can go to AutoZone, and there's Porter cables cheaper. What's Harbor Freight's brand called? Central Pneumatic. You know, there are brands that will provide a level of buffing for cheaper. It just really depends what level of risk you want to take and what level of results you want. Obviously, if you're the guy that's got, you know, $100,000 car or a $70,000 truck, or even if you've got a Honda Civic, if that thing is your pride and joy, and you want the equipment that's gonna, one, last. For me, it's the thing about how it's gonna last. You know, the Rupes only comes with a 1-year warranty, but I've never heard an example of a Rupes crashing and burning unless you spill water all over it. I've heard stories, obviously, of detailers buffing, you know, it starts to rain and they keep buffing rather than throwing up an easy up and fry their machine. Yeah, okay. But in terms of build quality, in terms of reliability, and in terms of using the most advanced technology, I have an iPhone. They still sell flip phones, but an iPhone's better. You know, it just, there's stuff I cheap out on and there's stuff I don't. And obviously being a car guy, car stuff and detailing and quality parts for the truck are things that I don't cheap out on, you know. So it just, like I said, that's up to you. The link, like I said, is going to be in the description so you guys can see current pricing. Maybe it's on sale. But other than that, we're going to wrap it up here. We are going to have more detailing related videos coming in the future. Not an overwhelming amount, but you know, just a couple. So you guys stay tuned for those and subscribe if you're excited for them. And if you have any more questions on the Rupe Bigfoot Mini 12mm random orderable buffer, please leave me a comment below and I'll be happy to answer. Thanks again for watching.
Here we go.
As always, if you made it this far in the video, you are the absolute best. I hope that you enjoyed it. It was an absolute blast making it for you. If you did enjoy it, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button right in the middle of your screen. I've also put 2 videos here that I think you might like. Throw me a thumbs up, and as always, thank you so much for watching.